say, baby, let's take a spin. You say, wait a minute, Del boy, here comes my friend. I love the way you walk when you pass me by. Even when you're trying to snub me. Oh, you give me a wink and then you flash me an eye. Oh, baby, I just want to be loved. Told, here comes my friend. I love the way you look when you pass me by. Even when you're trying to stop me, and then you blow me a kiss, and give me the eye. Oh, honey, I just want to be loved. Come on, love me, love me.
Chris Crandall.
Thank you very much.
Don't stay on the right. Paul Dean on the left and Joe at the back there.
And Patrick on the bass.
Thank you very much.
So we want to say a big thank you to Ashwin. Poor old Ashwin's flown in especially for tonight from France. He's going back on Sunday. And because we've lumbered him with doing all the talking. Well done, Ashwin. Good lad.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Heaters. Eventually. Do you know, for years they've been known as the house band at the New Crawley Blues Club. But from here on in, they're just the Heaters, a damn fine band.
Thank you, Ashton.
And don't forget that next week, as Del said, they've got 2 full sets of the Heaters. Now, as you realise, they are a bit like me, gentlemen, some of them of a certain age. And so they're not going to all have to do the full 2 hours sets because, well, we'd have to have oxygen on hand and so on and so forth. So there's going to be all sorts of subs brought on. There's been over the years many different members of the Heaters, and some of them are going to be here next week. So it's going to be a very special week next week. So do come along. That's Thursday the 5th of December. December already, God. I tell you what, I came over here today and I'm astonished by how many Christmas lights there are everywhere. We haven't got any back in France, you know, miserable old frogs, they don't put lights up.
We were just too lazy to take down last year's, actually.
Anyway, do come along next Thursday. In a few minutes we'll be drawing the raffle, and then of course the Frankie Connolly Band will be here. So sit yourselves down, or go and get a drink, or sit around waiting for the raffle to be drawn, and we'll be back very, very soon. Thank you.
Ashley Smythe, please.
Thank you.
And we never throw ourselves forward, we're not after brownie points, we never, you know, showy people or anything like that, but I think probably tonight we're going to make the exception, because I think you really should see who it is who's been keeping us entertained here for the last 20 years, and I certainly couldn't have done it without any single one of them. So, one by one, some of them are going to be really embarrassed. I know. I've never seen anybody that has taken so much pleasure in prizing money out of people. And I've seen grown men cry at the thought of the stare that they get when they try to walk past without buying a raffle ticket. So, apart from myself, of course, I would say it's probably about the best-looking member of the Crawdaddy crew. So it's Karen Rockingham. Come on, Karen, come down. There's a guy who doesn't come down as often as we would like him to, certainly. I know he would like to get down here a lot more often, but with work commitments and one thing or another, he can't do that. But we do know when he's here, because trust me, we walk in the place and the gear's out and it's all laid out for us already, and at the end of the evening it all gets put away in a flash as well, as if somebody's waved a magic wand. And he's a fantastic help. When he's here, he just turns his hand to everything that's needed, either stage work, getting chairs out, standing in his MC, all sorts of things, and we really do value his work when he's here, because we do less. So David Gross, Dave, come down, mate. Somebody else who quite simply was one of you, was one of the customers at one time, like most of the people who come on board really, and helped us out, offered to help us out on a couple of big gigs by coming and helping lay the gear out and chairs and all sorts of things, and then become a very valuable member of the Crawdaddy crew. I think it's important, obviously, that the bands come and get exposure when they come here, and afterwards people buy their CDs and people get to know them, and that's a lot of why we do what we do. But equally, I think afterwards there's so much exposure on social media, which helps the bands even more so, I think, and gives people a good impression of either what they've seen or what they've missed, more to the point. And that's done by a load of photographs that go on week in, week out, and just helps to extend the exposure that the bands get. He also doubles up on lights. He doubles up on playing the discs in between the bands, and is once again a very valuable member of the Crawdaddy crew. So Graham Chapman, come on, Graham. And of course, my partners in crime, the Heaters. I mean, fantastic to play with such good musicians, and week in, week out, and I've had the pleasure of doing that in all sorts of make-ups of the Heaters over the years. But I think this one's probably been just about the most fun because of somebody out front who jumps around like an absolute lunatic. We haven't got a clue what he says half the time. Del Stone, where are you, Del? Come on, mate. And also, obviously, I mean, I don't have to tell you about the skills of this guy. Fantastic guitarist, down here with us, putting the gear out, taking the gear back, week in, week out. Chris Campbell, come on, Chris, where are you, mate? Somebody who really has been with us virtually from day one. You see him up here just as the bass player, but he does so much more. Anything that needs to be mended, he mends. Anything that needs to be built, he builds. He does the stage management, he does the MCing. He also runs our website. He's just all-round proper bloody clever dick he is, really. But he's been with us from the start, and well, you know who he is, Chris Patrick. Come on, Chris. And the newest recruit, but no less important, obviously. You know, we had a little bit of trouble, I'm sure some of you know, with tracking down and getting a drummer, a regular drummer. And we're really pleased to have on permanent board now, Joe Wootton. Joe? There's one person who obviously is behind the scenes for obvious reasons, just because of location, if nothing else, but it's absolutely fantastic that he's made it here tonight. Ashwin has been a supporter of the club right from the start. He's a supporter of everything blues. He runs radio stations, blues radio stations. He's the chair of the UK Blues. Does so much, and I personally believe doesn't get the recognition that he truly deserves as a result of that. And he's come all the way over from France just purely to be with us tonight. So that's absolutely fantastic. Ashwin Smythe. There's also one member, obviously, but I don't believe the way that time flies. In a couple of weeks' time, it will be 1 year since we lost Mike Lightfoot, who was a very, very important member of our team. How that is a year ago already, I don't know, but we really do miss him week in, week out, as do lots of the music venues around, because he was a great supporter of live music, not just blues, but just anything music related, quite simply. We all miss him really dearly, but I'm sure in one way or another he's probably here with us tonight, in some shape or form. I know that all of these guys up here will not be offended when I say that there's one person who, quite simply, works harder than probably all of us put together. Is here from the start and is here right to the end, and he has to work all night because we've done our bit and we can go and sit down and have a drink and all the rest of it. And he's here for the reasons that all of us are here, and that's because we're here for live music. And if you can't hear it properly, you don't get the balance, you can't hear the individual instruments, the individual vocals. And by God, I mean, he's had some instruments in the past, and everything that's thrown at him is dealt with absolutely, totally unflustered. I mean, some of the people's demands sometimes are quite simply I could headbutt them, and he will sit there. And yeah, I would. I'd have to get on the stool. Yeah, thank you, Del. And but totally unflustered, and he deals with absolutely everything. And I think you'll agree. I believe that he's probably the best sound guy in the business without shouting out. Chris Jones, come down, Chris. So, that's it. Thank you ever so much indeed for your support over the last 20 years. It's been absolutely fantastic. It's flown by. It's absolutely flown by. I've enjoyed every single minute of it. I know these guys here too. It is bloody hard work, to be honest, it really is. But when you get a crowd like this and you get the standard of the bands more than anything that come in, week out, never ceases to amaze me. Fantastic standard. So all I can say really is carry on supporting live music. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's blues, what it is. You know, the touchline here are open until only next March. They're pulling the plug at the end of March, which I think is a shame, but once again, I understand that completely. But give them support, you know, go and let them go out with a bang as well, just as we appear to have done tonight. The nearest two blues venues to get your kick of blues. There's Blues at Barley Lands on a Saturday afternoon that put on similar bands to us, and are doing it for exactly the same reasons as us too, just like-minded people, just doing it for the love of the art. And the next nearest blues venue to that is Blues at Woodlands in Gillingham, which is not too far over the bridge if you're that way inclined, and they are putting on exactly the same bands that we are, so they're doing a fantastic job over there, keeping live music going as well. So all I can say is the Croaletti crew.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's one person who obviously hasn't been mentioned, and that's the man without whom none of us would be here doing this, none of you would be here enjoying the music that you are enjoying. because this man is the man who's made it all happen. Week in, week out, he works so hard. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the boss. Thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
You're round, Paul!
They've been waiting very patiently in the background here. It must be tough to come along to a club on the last night like this. Most of you here would have had the pleasure of seeing them at least once, if not twice before. For me, I'm a virgin as far as this guy is concerned. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage the final Friday night headliners, Frankie Connolly Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're the Frankie Connolly Band. Thanks to the heaters. Thanks to everyone that came. Let's have a good time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring baby. That's what I'm so upside your head. I said bring me there, yeah. That's what I'm so upside your head. Well, you got me so mad. Got me talking out my head. Well, I know I love you, baby, and know my love is true. I just can't understand it, the way you treat me like you do, yes. Well, I'm gonna try to bring baby, yo. I'm gonna try to bring her at you. I said, what I'm talking inside your head. I said, I'm so inside your head. Well, you got me so mad, and got me talking out my head. Darling, that much is true, yeah. I just can't understand it, the way you treat me like you do, yeah. I'm gonna chuck a brick right at you. I said, bring me, baby, it's what I'm doing upside your head. I said, bring me, baby, but I'm so beside your head. Well, you got me, man. You got me talking and for you.